We're solving rational equations again, or day 2. So we're going to have to find the LCD between 1, x plus 1, and x plus 1. So the LCD will be x plus 1. Now my restriction will be whatever the denominator would make, whatever x will be to make the denominator equal 0. So if I get x plus 1 equals 0, I'm looking for something that is different than 0, minus 1 to both sides, so x must be different than negative 1. Here's my LCD, here's my restriction. Now here we go, LCD, x plus 1 for everybody, and then I drop the numerator down, leave some room, numerator, some room, numerator, some room. Alright, 2x plus 1 divided by 1, it's x plus 1. X plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is 1. X plus 1 divided by x plus 1 is 1. The denominator goes away. Distribute. Now I have 2x plus 2 minus 1 equals x. I'm solving for x over here. Here I have 1. So minus x right there. Here I go minus 1 here. If you don't want to do 2 steps at one time, you're welcome to do that. You can just do combine first, but we've been solving enough linear equations that you should be able to do that easily. So here I have x equals negative 1. But wait a minute, that is my restriction. I cannot have negative 1 in the denominator. My denominator will be 0. So check right there. And since that is the same thing, that means no solution. Because if x is negative 1, that's going to make my denominator equal 0. And we cannot do that. Before I find the LCD, I'm going to factor the denominators. This is difference of squares. GCF is 2. Okay, so least common denominator between these guys, I have 2, x plus 4, x plus 4 is already there, x minus 4, 2 is already there, x minus 4 is already there. Restrictions. So this one, it's going to be x minus 4. This one is going to be x plus 4. So my x would have to be anything different than positive or negative 4. That is my restriction. Or you can go through all the thinking process that we did for number 1. Or you can just do it in your head. You know, we just got to switch the sign right there. But this is the main idea. LCD right there. LCD divided by the denominator. I wasn't ready. These guys divided by that. So 2 and 2 cancel out. X plus 4 cancel out. I only have x minus 4 left over. This and this cancel out. This and this cancel out. I only have 2 left over. 2 and 2. X minus 4, x minus 4. I have x plus 4 left over. Distribute. The denominator goes away. I'm going to combine. I'm going to add 8x to both sides. I'm going to add 56 to both sides. Here I have 4x. Here I have 24. Divide by 4. So x equals 6. I got x equals 6. That does not interfere with my restriction. My restriction was x could not be equal to plus or minus 4, and I got x equals 6. So this is a good answer. So this is my solution. There's nothing for me to factor on the denominator, so I can go ahead and start finding the least common denominator between x minus 1, 3, and x minus 1. So 3x minus 1 is the least common denominator. Restriction, x will have to be different than whatever makes the denominator equal to 0. So plot positive 1. Bring the numerator down, leave some room, numerator with some room, numerator, and some room. 3x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. These two cancel out. I have 3 left over. 3x minus 1 divided by 3, x minus 1. 3x minus 1 divided by x minus 1, I have 3. Denominator goes away. Distribute. I know it's going to be a quadratic because this first term is squared. So I'm going to set this up equal to 0. I'm going to solve the quadratic by factoring. Two numbers that multiply will give you positive 3. The same two numbers that will multiply will give you negative 4. Now I set each factor equal to 0. Solve. Check your restrictions first. X cannot be equal to 1. If x equals 1, that will give me 0 in the denominator. So this cannot be it because of the restriction. Now, there's nothing wrong with x being 3. So this is my own solution, not this one. I'm going to factor this. Now I can go ahead and find my LCD, which is going to be x minus 5x minus 3. My restriction, x must be everything different than 3 and different than 5. Because if I put 5 right here, that will give me 0 in the denominator. If I put 3 right here, that will give me 0 in the denominator. And we can't do that. These two divided by these two, they cancel, I get 1. These two divided by that one, these two cancel, I have x minus 3. These two divided by that one, these two cancel, I have x minus 5. Denominator goes away, distribute. I'm going to combine. Quadratic, I'm going to set it equal to 0. I'm going to factor, multiply the leading coefficient by the constant. Factor mentally. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. When you add them together, you get negative 1. Because I started out by multiplying by 3, I'm going to divide that by 3. Simplify the fraction here. You have 1. Bring this up. Set each factor equal to 0. Here I have x equals 1. Minus 2 divided by 3. Check your restrictions. I'm good with x equals 1. And I'm also good with x equals negative 2/3. So answer and answer. I have two answers.